Good afternoon, distinguished guests. It's a first visit for me to Manila, okay, and thanks for having us here. ATRA, we truly enjoyed the dinner yesterday, the culture, the ambience, and the event the whole day today. And yeah, I'll be talking about the updates, contemporary MICE update from Malaysia. And if you look at the slides, today is 26th of July, and we are talking about MICE. And can somebody guess there's one of the biggest event happening in the world today? Anyone? Olympics. I'll buy you a drink later. And you know what drink is that? I don't know, yeah, whether it's coincidence or what, it's a blessing or what, we are doing our minds related theme this time. Talking about Malaysia, how unique we can be, we saw the giants of MICE and tourism just spoke before me, Thailand, Philippines, we have other friends, Indonesia, right? Strong competition. So how we would want to differentiate ourselves, the location, okay, and easy access, value for money, and stability are the USPs of MICE in Malaysia. Okay, and the connectivity is quite good, as you know that we are a kind of host of Asean in terms of air connectivity. Right, the airports, KLIA, both the airports are, connecting different parts of the world, and the venue is very important, as mentioned by the previous speaker. Philippines investing heavily on the mega project of for MICE, right? Malaysia is into it as well. KLCC. We also have our PICC. I was surprised to see PICC here. We have our big event location, PICC, Putra International Convention Center, right? So more competition for all of us, right? And for us, there are not many players of MICE. Right, in Malaysia. Malaysian Convention Exhibition Bureau, or MICEB, was established in 2009 by the government, Ministry of Tourism. Okay, and we also have MASIOS, mentioned by Professor Nitya earlier, okay, a group of MICE-related business companies, okay, to standardize, to run the business according to the contemporary demand. Some of the statistics you can see. Of course, I don't have like Professor Ponpisanu. The Thai statistics are very, very specific to MICE, right? What I can dissect, what we can observe that we have about 1 million plus international delegates annually. This is for the past decade, 2010 to 2020. And estimation of 1.52 billion, okay, on economic impact. So what is the meaning of economic impact? Is there are indirect impacts also from there's a visitor like us, we came for MICE here, right? But we are also spending for non-business related things. We go to the streets, we buy things, souvenirs, right? So the economic multiplier effect is bigger for MICE. I got more statistics later which I can show you. Okay, this is the kind of summary of the previous slide, okay, which mentions that a solid income from MICE industry. If you look at this thing here, 2014, the country, Malaysia, recorded highest arrival, meaning there should be something big happened that particular year, and that was our Visit Malaysia year, 2014. And we are having 2026 as our next Visit Malaysia year. So we could see a significant jump of tourist arrival and income generation. So for every one additional event day, right, so extra day gives you extra money, right? It's projected to generate 466,000, this is in ringgit, right? So what estimated economic impact? So a calculation of annual days event is 9,166 days, meaning this many days events happen. I know in a year we only have 365 days, right? But multiple events, big events taking place, when you really count, it's about close to 10,000 days, and so you to see the big impact. And the mines strategy in Malaysia is mentioned, well reflected from our bigger policies, SPB 2030 and National Tourism Policy, okay, which says that Malaysia to increase significant share of hosting business events. The share of mines is not as big as leisure, just like all of us, we went through the statistics from the other countries. But it can go higher, right? Malaysia to become Asia's top 5 business event, okay? The ranking showed by our colleague earlier, a speaker, Malaysia is 36 now. So we strive to go more higher, right? The business events industry to contribute significant economic impact. Malaysia business events and international sporting event industry to be yield driven, okay? Business events to be a key element in ministries and government agencies, and to connect and boost investment opportunities. Okay? So the projection for the next, by 2030, okay, close to 6 million delegates, participants, annually about up to 350 events. This is a target for the country, okay, generating about 42 billion of economic impact. I know you are worried and tired seeing numbers. I've got a lot of pictures in a while, and don't worry, not many slides. And as I said, it's only 3% of the travel and tourism industry as compared to other type of attractions, leisure or theme parks. Theme parks undermine leisure and other type of attractions, okay, and create 25,000 plus job opportunities. So when I try to analyze and dissect where people go the most, okay, monthly there are mega events arranged by the government. There are not more than 2 mega events in a month in the country, okay. January we have Thaipusam, is a Hindu festival. I believe some of you might have visited. Well, Ms. Shemer visited us last year. I brought her there, okay. 272 stairs, you go all the way up to the cave. It's an annual event. Tourists come only for this. There are tourists come only for this, right? It has happened for more than 50 years, 50, right? So this is a religious event. However, it attracts a lot of, this is under MICE, right? The economic impact is great. February, Chinese New Year, right? Most of the time it's February or end of January, around the time. So it also attracts a lot of visitors going for a different feel, going for a different feel. Like last year, we have Hindu festival called Deepavali. Last year, my Deepavali I celebrated in Phuket. I want a change. I don't want to be home, right? So I went to Phuket last year. So there's lots of visitors, they want a change. This year, celebrate the Chinese New Year in Malaysia, right? In March, this is annual event, Mata Fair. This is where the tour packages are sold, very cheap, right? Cheap packages, right? Very attractive packages. Local crowd normally is a target, right? It happens twice a year. We have the Eid festival or Hari Raya in April, May, June. Okay, one of these months, right? So for this year, we had it in April. Okay, Eid festival falls in April. Iron Man, yes, thank you. Hari Raya Putra, yes. Iron Man Desaru. Okay, Iron Man event. This is the southern part, close to Singapore, southern part of Malaysia. This is, I believe you might know this. This is quite famous, right? The Rainforest Festival in Sarawak, June. Okay. It attracts. This year, Kitaro came to perform. Kitaro from Japan. So it attracts a big crowd. It's not just concert. It's like a 3 days event full of celebration, right? Right? Full of party. Yeah, I heard that. Full of party. And Penang Hill Festival in July. Okay, I just selected the main ones of the month. So when you analyze, there are not more than 2 or 3 mega events. That's how it's arranged. And in August, we have our Independence Day, which attracts lots of delegates, guests, official, non-official trips to see the country's historical events and the parade. And we have, I'm sure you know Littoral de France, but this is, I believe, this is very famous, especially to the sporting world, right? Littoral de Langkawi is an exciting annual cycling event, okay, that draws participants from all over the world. This year, it's not even happening in Langkawi, it's happening in Sarawak this year, right? So it has transformed according to the situation, contemporary situation, who would like to organize. And we also have Dragon Boat Regatta. I think Philippines is a very active participant here, dating from 1872, right? Very sure I was not born that time. And MotoGP, right? We used to have F1, but no more. But we have MotoGP race, our annual event. And Christmas, we have our Portuguese settlement, the state of Malacca, right? This annual event is a celebration which is funded by the ministry to attract international tourists as well. And some of the main thing, I agree what Professor Pisanu said, target Indian tourists. And we also realized that the major factor is free visa to the Indian market. Of course, Thai moved first, October last year. Malaysia followed free visa. I believe this is the biggest thing attract tourists than MICE visitors. Okay, if you can see, because of the free visa, right, almost 50% of our booking for events are from India. 50% of the total booking from India, right? And China, Chinese are at the moment in their country only. Domestic tourism is a hit there now. So cannot disturb them now, right? Slowly they are recovering, slowly they are going out for international. They are still there, right? A bit more, some of the incentives, okay, given equity requirement, if you can just see, I wouldn't want to go through one by one, right? Lots of tax intensive and government support is happening to boost investors, especially from overseas in MICE and tourism. Way forward, this was also explained by the keynote speaker earlier, utilization of AI, AR, VR, okay? And this is my last one, right? What is next future? Future means not next 5 years, future is beyond that, right? What is next 2040, 2050? People are getting older, right? And people don't want to get married, right? That's a trend now, right? I believe it's just last month South Korea established a new ministry for not marriage, new ministry for population. Japan is declining in terms of population. China, also our country, Malaysia, not too bad, but it is happening. So is that a market? That's a market maybe we could tap. What type of events can be done for that particular market? Solo travelers, right? Increasing. Other niche areas that we can brainstorm, right? And when I talk about 60 plus years, people who are, the old people are going to be more than the younger people, meaning in the market, okay, in terms of workforce, we won't have many. So this is where the utilization of AI is important, okay? Okay, I think there's a Q&A later, right? So if anything, we can discuss later. With that, I would like to thank for inviting and your participation. Thank you.
Mission is to form a network or clusters of ASEAN universities so that the researchers could come together in order to work jointly and also contribute to the ASEAN region itself.
Mabuhay! A pleasant afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the 15th ASEAN Tourism Research Association Tourism Forum.
Mabuhay! Love the Philippines!
There's so much of future in event management actually. You can do general or you can specialize. It was actually inspired, just to share a little bit of the history of ASEAN Tourism Research Association. It was inspired by someone who was an advisor to the Ministry of Higher Education back in 2011. He called me and he said, why don't you start something that's very different from others? So I said, okay, let's start ASEAN Tourism Research Association. Why don't we do that?
We are very grateful to have our distinguished guests with us today. Thank you for bringing back the sunshine to the Philippines.
The future of MICE, business events in ASEAN, and the progress of the ASEAN MRA TP hinge on innovation, sustainability, and teamwork. Today is the perfect opportunity to come together and enhance these efforts.
And another thing that Thailand has realized is that we have a lot of festivals. We have introduced the concept called festival economy so that we can bring festivals locally up to the international level.
The National Tourism Development Plan of 2023 to 2028 has been approved. And this plan seeks to build a tourism industry that is deeply anchored on Filipino culture, heritage, and identity.
What is next future? Future means not next 5 years. Future is beyond that, right? What is next 2040, 2050? In terms of workforce, we won't have many. So this is where the utilization of AI is important.
We are assured that the Filipino workforce are actually competent and their competencies are recognized and at par with international standards.
The thing that we are expecting, most of my colleagues, is if we have a branding but we don't have a strategic action to support the branding, it's useless. The distance between idea and success is execution. And most of the time, the problem is execution.
We were very fortunate that all the schools selected were actually part of the same region for Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao.
I must congratulate you for all the sharings that you have shared with us for tourism and MICE industry.
Mabuhay! Love the Philippines!
Love the Philippines, love Metro Manila, it all starts here. Mabuhay at maraming salamat. Thank you for your time and attention, and let us work together to continue to transform the future of MICE in ASEAN and beyond.